Hello, Cancers, and Happy New Year. My name is Liza. I'm here with the Angel Cooperative channel to do your January 2020 tarot forecast for January. All right, so let's see what we have coming in for Cancer. This is also a reading for all Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs in Cancer. So also take a look at the other signs in your chart, because sometimes those may also resonate with you. So don't be shy to check those out as well. Let's see what we have coming in for Cancer for this month. Also, we're starting a new decade, which is so exciting. Hopefully you guys have much good fortune, good health, prosperity, everything coming into you for this year. I wish you guys all the best. Cancers, you guys are such lovely energy. I always love dealing with anyone with Cancer, the Cancer sign. I have so many dear friends and lovely people that I know that are Cancers. And the Lover's card just completely just flipped out of the deck. So hopefully, let's see, I'm putting it back in and see. And we also had the five of wheels. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. I'm just putting it back in here. All right, I feel like it's ready. All right, for all Cancer signs, we have the Tower. And we also have the Three of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Page of Swords. All right, your overall energy for January is the Three of Wheels. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to also pull some clarifiers from the Old Style Lenormand deck. Oops, and I'm dropping everything today. I'm like banana fingers. Okay. Let's see what clarifiers we have for Cancer for the month of January. And we have the Whips, the House, the Anchor reversed, and the Letter. Your overall energy is also the Book. And I'm going to pull some extra clarification with our runes, see what other messages we need to understand or clarify for Cancer for January. Okay. All right. And one last thing I want to do is pull a crystal. Let's see what healing energy that what healing energy that Cancer needs to hear for the month of January. Sorry, I get so tongue-tied. I've been doing these videos back to back, and I start to get to the point where sometimes I'm like, I don't even make sense to myself. All right, we have rhodochrosite. I love this stone. It's so beautiful. It's like so cool. It's like got really cool energy. Especially with the reds and there's like some greens and some beige and some whites that's going through there. I also want to see what the meanings is for it. Rhodochrosite, here we go. And it's also good with the digestive and reproductive system. It also enhances your self-confidence and your self-worth. It helps to release tension caused by anxiety. It also could relieve disturbances in the aura caused by trauma, and it drives away pain and anger. So I do feel like this is really good for you guys, especially if you've been dealing with some losses, even maybe even some situations that have been causing you a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear and pain, and just dealing with some difficult situations that have been going on in your life. So especially rhodochrosite is, I love it. It's such a beautiful stone, has such beautiful, powerful healing energy to it. And I know that it's also, it's also really good with the reproductive system. So I do feel like for some of you, if you're looking to, you know, if you're looking to get pregnant or looking to start you want to start a family, like this is a good stone to also carry with you, especially to help your reproductive system get stronger, and also helps with all the challenges that maybe you're facing with it. Not necessarily for everyone that's trying to get pregnant, but it could also be even any type of, if you're going through menopause or even going through, changes in your body where, like, of course, you're having to create some balance. So I feel like it's going to be a good stone for those of you that need that. All right, so let's see what we have coming in for Cancer for this month. We have the Three of Wheels. So I do feel like this is beautiful because it's, with the Three of Wheels, it's just also the Three of Pentacles, but in this deck, it's called the Three of Wheels. It's all about, it could even be signing of new documents. There could be some major, big transactions going on right now. Could be new projects coming into play. I do feel like for a lot of you with the Three of Wheels, it could also be that you're taking on a new project. It could even be taking on new challenges. Something it is exciting though, because it is promising of of bringing you something good. But the thing is, like, you're having to also, I do feel like there is this sense that you have to still gain some knowledge, because not everything is going to be happening. I feel like not everything is going to be happening overnight. It's because I do feel like there are some challenges that you're having to overcome still. And especially with the Three of Pentacles or the Three of Wheels, it may be that you're also signing documents for something that is very important. It could be court documents. It could be even signing over something legally, or even taking on a new job position, or signing a contract to be possibly in a new position in your career. It could be something that's going to bring, but I do feel like it's very promising, but there is a lot of there is like this learning curve that needs to go with it. So it's not like it's all going to just flow right into the way that you want it to, but I do feel like it's more of like there's this excitement of these new things coming into play. It's like something new happening because of this whole like beginning of starting something new. So we also have the Tower, and I also feel like there is this transformation that you're going through. Some major changes have been happening in your life. And with the Whips, it's that, the Whips is all about having control, where you don't want to have, it's just like having a sense of control over these major changes. I do feel like Cancer, you guys are, you may have been feeling like things were a little bit out of control. It's almost like things were a little bit chaotic. Maybe even as the year came to an end, in 2019, there was a little bit of chaos going on for you. But I feel like now you're starting to get things under control. It's like you're trying to bring order to chaos, and I feel like that's kind of like the word that's coming through here for you, especially as you start out this new year. But I feel like this is more of the way that you're feeling like you're having to start things off, bringing some order to the chaos and taking control of the situation, so that way it doesn't escalate and get out of control. So I feel like you're the person that needs to do that, and it's like you're trying to bring order, and trying to create things that are going to be flowing in a positive way without letting things like letting the building burn down to the ground. Like you're willing to make some preventative ways of things, things that could turn into a bad way, but you're trying to put some more control and some more effort or energy into it, so that way those things don't happen. So I don't know, however that means for each of you, I feel like each of you is going to connect with that on a different level, but I do feel like that's important. There is the Three of Swords, and the Three of Swords is also connected here with the House. Three of Swords is feelings of betrayal, feelings of being let down by somebody, or some people. I do feel like with the threes, it could be more than one person. It could be two or three people that you're dealing with. But you do have the house here. So the house is feeling like it could be family, it could be connections that are really close to you, like your inner circle. And these are people that have been let you down, making you feel this sense of anxiety and fear and worry. And it could even be sometimes for the Three of Swords, for some people, this can also mean third party situation where you could be uncovering the fact that somebody has been either cheating on you or being I feel like they've been stepping out, like they have another connection that they're focusing their energy on. But I don't feel like this is for all of you Cancers. I do feel like this is a sense of disappointment in somebody that is close to you. It could be a family member. Whereas you feel betrayed by them. You feel like they let you down. And it's creating this this anxiety and this upset and anger. It could be disappointment. It could even be where you're not feeling like I don't know. There is this sense that you're gonna have to like create order, create balance, and to make this situation right. And I feel like that's why the Tower here with the whips is also, and I feel like something did happen and something left you feeling a little disappointed, but also letting you feel almost like betrayed in a way. It could even be that somebody did something that it's almost like you're having to clean it up and you're having to make things right, even though this person did what they did. It's like they left you feeling like you had to fix things, and it's like it's interesting how Cancer, it's like you're trying to pick up the pieces. It's almost like you're trying to, I don't feel like you're sweeping anything under the rug. It's just you're trying to, bring order or bring order out of chaos, that same feeling. And I do feel like that's a lot of what's going on here. And especially we have the Harvest rune here. So I do feel like there is, like things are coming into play where you're understanding that, that, these things had to happen in order to get your attention. But I feel like it's supposed to help you move into a better place. So I feel like, these things have to happen because it's going to bring you into something better. I don't know if that makes any sense, but of course, especially with the way these cards feel pretty grim, as in this month, I do feel like there is something good that's going to come from this. So don't allow this to completely make you feel like disillusioned, where you're like, oh my gosh, you're leading with anxiety and fear, and you're like more upset and worried, and you're overthinking things, and you don't want to get into that point where you're like being fear driven. So I feel like you don't want to let your fears drive you into making unwise choices. I feel like you have to really focus in on, yes, we have to bring some order to this situation. We have to make things right. But you don't want to do things out of fear, because when you do things out of fear, it's like you make choices that usually you wouldn't do on a clear head. It's like you have to really, I feel like it's almost like you need to remove yourself from that like negative mindset thinking where you're leading with fear, because that's when that mindset will come into play. So I hope that like kind of gives you some form of direction there. We also have the Four of Cups, and that's paired with the Anchor reverse. So I do feel like for you guys, there is there is some reflection, some sadness. There's going to be maybe even some tears shed, because you're feeling like not anchored. It's like you're feeling like things are kind of like where you're set adrift, and like you don't know which direction to go in, and you're feeling like it's like things are a little bit out of control, but the thing is, I do feel like you have control, you do have order here, but the thing is that your emotions are going that way. It's not what's really happening. It's more about the way that you're emotionally feeling, especially connected to this situation, whatever it may be. It may be a major loss or something that has happened where you feel betrayed or you feel let down, and you're feeling this sadness over it. But the thing is, like, you can't let that get you down, because I do feel like better things are going to be coming into play. Don't let these emotions take over. And I feel like that is also important. It's interesting because we also have this rune is also about inheritance, and like, it could even be like inherited property, or it could even be like a change, like having to bring in a change, but I feel like a change in a positive way. Like you're kind of upset and melancholy about the changes that are taking place, but you know that these changes have to be made. But it could also be causing these emotions to flare up, and I hope that makes a little bit of sense for you. It's because of the changes that are happening. It's like you don't have any like control over the changes that are happening, but you have to like make some order out of the change, and then make some order out of the chaos. And even though your emotions are coming into play here, you don't want to let them overpower your thinking and the way that you're perceiving things, and like seeing things in a clear mindset, which of course I do feel like the rhodochrosite will help you with that, especially when you're leading with anxiety and fear. So I feel like the rhodochrosite will definitely keep you more balanced when it's coming to that. We also have here the Page of Swords, and also with the letter. So the Page of Swords could also be air energy, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. But I do feel like the page also does signify messages or messengers, or some type of communication that's coming in. And it's interesting because it's also paired with the letter here. So I do feel like with the letter, it's like there is going to be some good news coming in. Positive communication. It could even be where you're gaining some clarity from this communication that's coming in. Somebody may be giving you some information that's important, that is going to help you. And it could even be where you're just kind of gaining some, gaining clarity through communication with others. So that definitely could be coming into play here. And I do feel like it's positive communication. It's going to set you in a place where you feel like you can definitely move forward. It's going to give you that strength to keep moving on, because we do have the warrior rune also with this card. And the warrior is, it's like, having success, but also willing to make sacrifices. The warrior is always willing to go in and fight for what they feel is right. They're not going to back down. They know what they need to do. And even if it puts them in a place where it puts them, where they're vulnerable, or where they're having to, sacrifice something of themselves in order to get there, they will go and do it. So I do feel like there is going to be some good, positive, news or messages, or even communication that's going to help you get to that point where you feel like the warrior, where you feel like you can definitely move forward, and you don't need to allow this to, make you feel these emotions. And I feel like it's going to give you clarity. So it's going to make you feel definitely good about the direction that you're going in, and maybe even, mentally give you some clarity, so that way you're not leading with your emotions as much. All right, so let me also get a clarification with the Wisdom of the Oracle cards, and I feel like this one wants to come out. And we have Come to the Edge, and it's reversed. So I do feel like with the Come to the Edge card, it's like you're not willing to take any unnecessary risks. Come to the Edge is very similar to me as the Fool card in the tarot deck. But, with this, it's also about taking a leap of faith, and coming to the edge, and allowing yourself to make those changes that you need for yourself. But I do feel like you don't want to be taking any unnecessary risks right now, because it's not worth it. I feel like it's going and doing the things that feel right to you, but not like doing things that are a little bit out of the norm, like doing things that are a little crazy, and taking some, major, I feel like major changes that are going to put you in a place where you feel even more vulnerable. So I feel like you have to kind of take things with a little bit more caution, instead of like just going for it and jumping off the edge. It's more about like going there and like trying to assess the situation without taking any unnecessary risks that'll put you in like in danger, or put you in a place or a position where you're feeling very, very vulnerable, and you're feeling like you don't have control. So I do feel like that's also what's coming into play here. Let's get one more clarification with the archetype deck. And we have the Saboteur, which is all about self-sabotage. This is also, it's reminding you to empower yourself, but, not to sabotage your happiness in order to get there. But, also to know that the changes that you're bringing into your life is that you need to do these to make yourself feel good, and to also bring you to a place of security, and to not allow yourself to sabotage that part of your life anymore. So I do feel like there is, especially with the light attribute here, it's also about highlighting your fears of self-empowerment and changes it would bring to your life. The shadow attribute is also induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. So I feel like it's like you wanting to avoid like self-destructive behaviors. Like you don't want to be doing things that are going to be putting yourself, it's the same meaning as this card in a way, where you don't want to put things at risk. So that way you're putting yourself into a position where you could actually be harming yourself, or, getting to a place where you're feeling unsafe. You want to do things that actually empower you, and not be afraid of doing that, and setting yourself into the right direction in a positive way, but bringing in beautiful things into your life that you need to focus on. But of course, because you've come through like major changes and some things that have happened that have made you feel like you had to question people around you, it's like you're going to have to find a way to, make it through this, but without with more control, and more, without trying to take unnecessary risks, in order to actually nurture yourself and take care of yourself and make sure you're heading into the right direction. All right, well, Cancers, I hope you guys enjoyed your reading, and I hope it resonated with you. Please comment below. I would love to hear your comments. And also, don't forget to like and also share these videos with those that you know would benefit from them. And don't forget to like and subscribe as well. All right, well, have a great month, Cancer, and I will see you again in February. Take care, guys. Bye.